It has been 20 years since Nitish Kumar first walked into the Chief Minister's office in Patna, a moment that marked the end of one political era and the beginning of another. For Bihar, a state long caught between the memories of quote unquote jungle Raj and the promise of development, Nitish's arrival in 2005 felt like a fresh breath of accountability and order. And yet, 2 decades later, the same man stands as both the constant and the variable of Bihar politics, dependable in his presence, unpredictable in his choices. When Nitish first won a full term in 2005, the expectations were immense. Bihar had survived years of deteriorating law and order, weak administration, and public frustration in the form of the infamous Jungle Raj. Names of Champa Biswas, Shilpi Jain, and Muhammad Sahabuddin were fresh in the memories of everyone. The secretariat walls were quote unquote beetle stained, and even basic work culture had collapsed, a system Nitish tried to clean up from day one. He sent powerful criminals to jail, pushed out political interference, and backed bureaucrats to rebuild governance. Roads were constructed, infrastructure moved, and long neglected communities, especially Mahadalits, backward Pasmanda Muslims, and the large, extremely backward classes or EBCs, suddenly found space in the state's welfare agenda. For many Biharis, this was the moment when the state, quote unquote, started finally working again. His 2010 re-election with JDU's record 115 seats became a public referendum on this governance transformation. Nitish's most enduring legacy are not just roads or crackdown on crime. It's his reinvention of social justice politics. He looked beyond the traditional Yadav minority axis of the RJD era and curated a new coalition: EBCs, Mahadalits, Pasmanda Muslims, and most importantly, the casteless category of women. In Bihar, where caste arithmetic has often decided outcomes, Nitish built a new formula: his 50% reservation for women in panchayats, inclusion of backward Muslim groups in welfare schemes, and targeted outreach to Mahadalits helped him consolidate the largest caste bloc, the EBCs, about 36% of the population of the state. This political arithmetic helped him stay in office for nearly 2 decades and has also led to sayings like "Sarkar kisi ki bhi ho, Mukhyamantri to Nitish hi rahega." That is, whoever forms the government, it will be headed by Nitish Kumar, a staple in Bihar. However, this wasn't just a joke. It is the political truth for 2 decades now. If governance gave Nitish credibility, alliance hopping gave him longevity. No Indian leader in recent memory has switched sides as frequently and, more importantly, as smoothly as Nitish Kumar. Over 20 years, he has taken oath 9 times as Chief Minister, 7 times with the BJP as a partner, and twice with the RJD as the partner. In 2013, he broke a 17-year partnership with the BJP after the party made Narendra Modi NDA's prime ministerial candidate in view of his huge Muslim voter bank. In 2015, he shocked Bihar by returning to ally with Lalu Prasad, the very man he once viciously fought to dethrone. Then, in 2017, he broke that alliance and returned back to the BJP, calling it a move, quote, in the interest of Bihar. Again, in 2022, he switched back to the RJD Congress alliance, the Mahagathbandhan or Grand Alliance, only to rejoin the BJP-led NDA in early 2024 again, all within a span of a few years. To outsiders, this looked like unprincipled opportunism, but to his supporter base, especially the EBCs, these somersaults were seen as strategic moves to protect their interests, whichever side held power. On the other hand, while both his opponents and allies are still struggling with allegations of dynasticism, Nitish Kumar has never brought in his family into politics and has announced against doing so in the future. For 2 decades now, this balancing act has kept him indispensable to both national blocs. But besides strategic and socialist politics, what drives Nitish Kumar's consistent mandates over the years? The answer is populist policies. Nitish has also mastered the art of carefully calibrated populism. Free bicycles for girls, uniform for students, pension upgrades, and income support schemes for women, many of these initiatives became the part of Bihar's political culture. The complete ban on alcohol is the biggest example. However, despite unsustainable loads on the state's exchequer, Nitish Kumar has pushed through with all of these schemes. Even today, the rupees 10,000 Mahila Rozgar Yojana, launched for 75 lakh women, is seen as a continuation of Nitish's long-term political investment in the women vote. His focus on women empowerment and safety contributed heavily to his clean image politics through the 2000s and 2010s. But Nitish's 2 decades in power have not been free of controversy or decline. The Mahadalit experiment. His first attempt to carve out Mahadalits as a separate political category was viewed by some as deliberate social engineering for political gain, which neither gained any steam nor benefited him electorally. The Manji episode in 2014 and 15, when he briefly resigned and installed Jitam Ram Manji as chief minister, the move backfired badly. It confused voters, angered party loyalists, and allowed rivals to question his leadership judgment, prompting him to reverse the decision within a year. Gaffes and health concerns. In recent years, Nitish has repeatedly gone viral for slips, gaffes, and awkward public moments, from mixing up leaders' names to appearing confused during official events. These episodes sparked open speculation about his mental acuity and raised new questions about whether he still remained in control of his health. This was used extensively by his political opponents like Prashant Kishore and Tejashwi Yadav. Stagnation in Bihar's growth. Nitish's 2 decades also reveal a quieter, uncomfortable truth. Bihar's early momentum did not sustain. The 2023 caste survey, which doubled as a socioeconomic audit, showed that 34.13% of Bihar's households survive on Rs 6,000 a month or less. With poverty especially severe among scheduled castes and extremely backward classes, the very group that had placed their trust in Nitish's governance model. Economists argue that Nitish completed his first step of development, rebuilding basic infrastructure and law and order, but failed to take the second step of attracting private investment. As a result, Bihar's economy never diversified. Migration remained a compulsion, unemployment stayed high, and a growing number of youth looked outside the state for opportunities. A significant share of Bihar's budget is now spent on servicing loans from external agencies, with state debt estimated to reach 37% of its GSDP by the 2025-26 fiscal year. Welfare schemes expanded, but were often financed through borrowing rather than new economic output. This is why analysts repeatedly note that Bihar today survives largely on remittances sent by migrant workers, not in industrial growth. It is a diagnosis that complicates Nitish's legacy. A leader who brought stability and governance but could never truly lift Bihar out of economic stagnation. Yet one question continues to dominate. How has Nitish stayed in power for so long? The answer lies in 3 simple but powerful political instincts. Firstly, a base no one else fully commands. Nitish holds over EBCs, Mahadalits and women, created a vote bank neither the BJP nor the RJD could ever break. Alliance flexibility. By switching sides at the right moments, he has prevented both big national parties from sidelining him. He has also made himself essential. That is, never optional. There is no alternative or Tina factor. For years, when voters asked who after Nitish, there was simply no answer. The absence of a successor in the JDU, NDA, or even the opposition kept him irreplaceable. Today, Nitish Kumar stands at a strange crossroad. He is a man who rebuilt governance in Bihar, expanded representation of neglected castes, and dominated its politics for nearly 20 years. But he's also the leader whose repeated alliance flips, declining administrative edge, and visible fatigue have left Bihar wondering what comes next. As one analyst puts it, Nitish has given Bihar the stability it wasn't used to. But the 2025 election shows that people still remember him and admire him as the leader who changed Bihar's destiny. For now, after 2 decades, he remains what he always has been, a constant presence and the most unpredictable force in Bihar politics, as he takes his CM's oath for the 10th time. That's all for now. For more such videos, please subscribe to The Hindu. If you have any feedback or suggestions for us, please write to us at videos@thehindu.co.in.